Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today my topic for this particular video is the Python data structures, and I will cover the Python collections here. And in the Python, basically Python support the four collection data types. First one is the list, then tuple, then set, then dictionaries. But in this particular video, I will cover only in the list. My focus only on the list part. And in the upcoming video, you will see I will cover the tuples, then set, dictionary, all collection data types. But in this particular video, I focus only on the list. So let me start with the list. What is list? Why we require list into the Python? So basically, list is used to store the multiple items in the sequence manners. Like we have the requirement in any softwares or while developing any softwares or any program, like to store the data into the sequence with indexing. So we can use the list here. And basically list store the item in the order way, like list store item in orders, like the all items are ordered, and which means we can add data into the list by using the index also. And if we append any data into the already created list, then the data is added in the end of the list because list is ordered and it's managed by the index. And next important characteristic of the list is mutable. Lists are mutable, means we can change any item into the list. If we have a requirement to update any item into the list, we can change those things. So this is changeable. So there is the like the in case of collection data type, some data type are mutable, some are unmutable. I will cover the unmutable also after the list, but list is the mutable data type. And next thing is list item are index. So as I told, like told you, list store the multiple items into the into ordered form, and we use the indexing into the list to store the data. And the index start from the zero, like the very first item into the list is stored on the zero index, then on the one index. Let me show you quick example. So here you can see in my screen, this is the very nice picture. And here basically we are creating a list. Here are the list. Well, this is the first item of the list, optimal. Then second item is XAI. Then third item is data science. Then XAI 4 item. AI is fifth item. Then sixth item is data analytics. And this is the like the backends, how in the backend list store the data. So this is the indexing. Like the first item is stored at the zero index, as shown in my screen here. Second item is stored at the one index. Then third item on the second index. Then fourth item on the third index. You can see here, this way list is work, list indexing is work. And in case of negative indexing also, you can see like the last item is stored at the -1 index, and second last -2, then -3, -4. So this way we use the indexing into the list. So let me back to the introduction part. So next, after the indexing, we can create a list. Like we have the requirement to create the list by using the square bracket. Like we just need to pass the value in between the square bracket. So we can create a list. This is the example how we can create a list. And the each item into the list is separated by comma. So as also here displayed, like the we need to separate each item by the comma here. And list can store any type, any data types, like the float value, integer value, string value, another type of list values, or the tuple values, or dictionaries, or that we can store any item inside the list. I will show you how we store these things. And list also store the duplicate items, as we are maintaining the order and also the index, so we can store the multiple items into the list. So let me quickly jump to the how we create the list into the coding. So here are the first example. In this first example, you can see here we are just using the blank square brackets. This is the square bracket, and we have no value into the square bracket. So basically, we are creating a blank list here, and by using the square bracket only. And if we print those list, this is the list and their type. So you can see here, this is the blank list is created into the memory, and type of the list is data type of the list is list, so as expected. And next example is to create a list with string items. Suppose we have the requirement to store the string item into the list. So you can see here, this is the first string optimal, then second string xai separated by comma. So as I told, like we need to use the comma here. So we are separated the three different string with the comma. Then the third string is data science. Then fourth string again xai. So you can see here one thing here. We are using the duplicate items xai, then again xai, and this way like the list is managing the index and also store the duplicate items. Further, let me move to the integers, how we store the integer value into the list. In the same way as we store the strings, in the same way we store the integer also. You can see here, this is a 1, 2 separated by comma, 3 separated by comma again. So this way we can store the integer value also into the list. We can create a list with integer value. This is the syntax. And if we have the requirement to create a list with float, then we can create the list with the float values also. You can see here, this is the example. And as I explained, like as I told in the starting, like we can store any data type like the tuple, another list or dictionary into the list. So here are the example. In this example, you can see first we are storing two items, which data type is integer, then string, you can see here, then tuple, then another list, then dictionary. So we can store multiple data types like the mixed data type into the list, and this way list manage the multiple data type also. And next one is, let's move to the, like we have the requirements for to check the size of the list and length of the list. Then this is the methods len, and then bracket, and in the bracket we pass the list and it's print the size of the list. And here basically we are passing this particular list, like we created a list here, list str, and the size of the list is 4. Further, we have the another mechanism to create a list. We can use the list function method also here, and we need to pass the tuples in between the list methods. So you can see here, like the list, then list function, and in the list function we are passing a tuple, and the value of the tuple is Python 1 data size, and this is one also created a list. So this is the another ways how we can create a list. So let me move to the index part, how we can access the value by using the indexing. So here you can see, like we create a list into the into Python, and then the list store way in this way, like this is the index and this is the negative index. And if we are interested to see the value on the 0 index, so you can see here we pass list, then index value is 0, and it's printing the optimal. You can see here optimal store at the 0 index. If we are interested into the second index value, you can see here in the second index is data science and it's printing the data science here. So this way we can access the values, and we can also use the negative index also. Suppose we are interested in the value of the -3 index. So you can see here -3 is xai, and same value is printing here. And we can also use the like the range, like if we are interested the some range from the value from 1 to 4, 1 to 5, this kind of range. And here are the example, like here we are interested to check the value from 1 to 4, and this basically print the value start from the 1, 2, 3, and it's basically and index is 4, then it's printing the value, is return the value 4 minus 1 up to the 3. So here it will be written the x data science xai, and same value you can see here, same value written by the Python also, like the xai data science xai. And same range function we can use like the negative index also. If we are interested to check the value from the -5 index to the -1, then this one also, like the return the -5 values, -4 index value, -3, -2, and exclude the -1. Same here, you can see here, this is the value xai on the -5 index, data science on the -4 index, xai again on the -3, ai on the -2, and it skip the -1 because it's exclude the last index. And further, if we have the requirement to access the overall list, so this is the way, another method, so we can directly use this way. And if we have the requirement to add the step size to skip the few item into the list, then we can use the step size also. Here basically we are using the step size too. So this one is basically skipping one value. So here first it return the optimal, then skip the xai, then data science, then skip xai, then ai. So you can see here, if we print this value, You can see here this, it's print the optimal, then skip the xai, then data science, then again skip the xai, then ai. So we can use the step function also in case of we have requirement to add the step size here. Suppose we have the requirement to reverse a list. So here are the techniques to reverse a list. You can see here we are using the two colon here, colon one, then colon two, then minus one, and this way we are reversing the list. You can see here now list is starting from the end. You can see here data analytics, then ai, then xai, then data science. So this way you can see we can reverse the list also. And as I told you, like the list is mutable, we can change the list, we can update any value into the list. So here are the methods how we can change the list. So here basically we are using the index value. As I told, the index, these are the index, and we can use the same index value to change particular value onto the particular index. So as I show you, like the one for the xai index, like the index start from the zero, optimal is zero index, then xai has the one index, and we are interested here to change the one index value is artificial intelligence. And if we print this particular list, you can see here now the value is changed. First one value is same, optimal, and we change this value xai. Now we have the artificial intelligence instead of xai. So this way we can change the value by using the indexing. And we can use the range also, like the multiple index also, starting from the starting of the index to the end of the index. So here basically we are using the starting index is 2. So if we compare this list, like this is the 0 index, this item on the 1 index, this item on the 2 index. So we are interesting from here, like the 2 index, then 3 index, this item on the 3 index xai, and up to the 4 index. But as list work, like as I explained in the previous section, like list work is the last index minus 1. So it replaces these two values, data science and xai, with new values. These are the two new values, 1 and 2, two integer. And if we print this particular list, you can see here now our list has optimal, artificial intelligence, 1 2. These are the two integer. We just add these two integer here, and then ai as per previous data, and data analytics as per the previous data. So this way we can change the item into the list, and we can also add the item into the list if we have the requirement to append the any items to extend the list, to add the list on any index. So there is the way. So first one is the append method, and append method basically add the item in the end of the list. So as we know, like the list is ordered. If we add any item, those item is add into the end by using the append method. So here you can see here, this one is the old list. And if we append the big data here, now our new list is optimal, artificial intelligence, then 1 2 AI, data analytics, and big data is appended into the end. And suppose if we have the requirement to add item on the specific index, then we can use the insert method. So here are the insert method to add the item on the specific index. So here basically we are interested to insert the text data on the 7 index. So you can see here basically we are adding the text data on the 7 index. Further, if we have the requirement to merge two lists, we can use the extend methods. And by using the extend method, we can basically create a new list by merging the two lists. You can see here, this is the list one, then list two. And now we use the extend method to add the second list into the one list. And you can see here, this is the data Python data science first list, and student fresher new joining. This is the second list. Now our list is new list is by using the extend method. So this is the way how we can basically concatenate two lists, or by to add two lists. And by the extend method, we can add any iterable data sets. Like for example, in case of tuple also, we can directly add tuple into the existing list by using the extend methods. We can add the set also, we can add the dictionary also. So you can see here, there the example here, basically we are adding the tuples into the list by using the same extend method. So this support the all iterable data types. And if we have the requirement to remove the item, to delete the item, to clear the item, then we have the remove methods into the list, and we just need to use the remove. Then in the bracket we need to pass the value which item we want to remove. So here you can see this is the original list: data, Python, data analysis, student, fresher, new joinee, and we are interested to remove the data from the list. And you can see here, after the removing, this is the new list. Now we remove the data. Like in the new list, we have the Python, data analysis, student, fresher, new joinee. So this way the remove method is work. If we have the requirement to remove the item on the particular index from the list, so we can use the pop, and in the pop we need to provide the index value, then we can remove the value from the particular index. So you can see here we providing the one index value. So this is the original list, like the index zero value, like the Python item on the zero index, then the data analysis item on the one index. So here basically we are providing the one value into the pop method. And after the removing, like after execution of the pop method, you can see here Python, then the data analysis value from one index is removed. Now we have the student, fresher, new joinee. So this way pop is work. And suppose we miss to add the pop index value into the pop, and we have the requirement to remove the item from the last, then we can use the pop without indexing. So here basically we are not using the any indexing, and in this way this remove the item from the last. So you can see here, this is the original list: Python, student, fresher, new joinee. And after using the pop without index, it removing the new joinee from the end. So this way we use the pop. And we can also use the delete keyword to remove the item with the index. So here are the delete keywords. You can see here, like we can use the delete keyword, then we have the list, and then list index. So in this way we can delete the item for this particular index. And here basically we are deleting the item from the zero index. And you can see here in this particular list, Python on the zero index. And after deleting this value with the delete keyword, you can see here Python is removed, and now we have the student and fresher into the list. And if we have the requirement to remove the whole list in one go, to delete all the list, then we can use the delete keyword again and remove the whole list. And this way whole list is removed. And here you can see here I'm using the try catch, but this try catch is out of scope for this particular video. I will cover this in separate videos, where I will show you how we can utilize the try exception handling, this stuff. But in this video, basically, I'm using the try catch, because in case like if we delete the list and we try to print those lists, then it raise the name error, and I'm handling those name error here. So this basically this code is deleting this particular list, then raising the name error, and I'm handling this name error by using this try and exception. So let me move to the clear. For example, if we have the requirement to clear a list, like we need to keep the list, but we need to clear all values from the list, then here are the methods like the clear. We can use this one also. Here basically I'm creating a list with integers and then clear the values. You can see here this is the original list, and after execution of the clear, now our all item is clear, all item is gone. And let me move to the next method, is the sort method. Suppose we have the requirement to sort a list into the ascending order. By default, sort method is basically sort the list into the ascending orders with the help of numerical data or alphabetically. So this is the first list in which contain the integer values. So it sort the list into the ascending order by using the numerical value. So you can see here, this one is the original list. Let me print this one. So you can see here, this is the 1, 5, 6, 3, 4, 6, 2. This is the original list. And after applying the sort, you can see here, after using the sort, it sort it into the ascending orders, like the 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, then 6, 6, because 6 is duplicate. So this way sort is work. Suppose we have the requirement to sort our list into the descending order, then we just need to pass one parameter here, reverse equal to true. Then this function, sort function, sort our list into the descending order. And here are the example. This is the our list. It's like this is the original list, and this is the sorted list in descending order. So this way we can sort the list. And next is copy methods supported by the list, and is very important method. Suppose we have the requirement to create a copy of our list, then we use the copy methods, and it basically create a separate object into the memory by using the copy methods. And suppose if we generate a new list by using simple equal to operation like list 2 equal to list 3, then it basically not generating any new object into the memory. It basically creating new variables, new identifier list 2, and which refer to the same object into the memory as similar to the list 1. And so we have the two mechanism to create a copy like the separate object into the memory. First one is the copy. For example, here the list 9, I created this list. This list has the data like the data, first item is data, then second item job, then training. And I'm creating another list into the memory, separate list, by using the copy. So here you can see this is the another list. And there is the another mechanism to create a copy by using the list method, list then bracket. You can see here, now I'm passing the my list into this list method here, and now I'm appending like I'm adding a items like a new item into the our newly generated list 10, and those item is added into the list 10 if we print the list 10. But as we create a separate object into the memory, that's why this new item is not added into the our existing lists. And let me show you, if we use the equal to, then what happened. Let me create another list. So here you can see I'm creating a new list 22, by using the previous list and by using the equal to operator. And as I told you, like if we, in this way, this basically new list is referred to the existing object into the memory, and I'm adding the new items into the newly generated list, but this item is also added into the existing list. You can see here, like this is the list 22 and this is the list 9. You can see here, this way uh, object is work into the memories, like the object reference is created. So to create a new object, we can use the copy, or we can use the list methods as I explained here. And suppose we have the requirement to concatenate the two lists, so we can use the plus operator also. Here you can see like the list, this is the list first, then list second, and we can concatenate two lists by using the plus operators. And we can also concatenate two lists by using the for loop also. So you can see here I'm using the for loop, and in for loop I'm first checking the item exist into the list and then adding those item into the our second list. So there is like the two ways we can use the plus operator also, and we can use the for loop also to concatenate a list. Next one is very important, is the loops and list comprehensions. As I explained the for loop, if loop, while loop during our control flow videos. So here basically I'm using the for loop, same for loop for the list to generate another list from the existing list. So here you can see here I'm creating first one list by using the range function from 1 to 19. This is the range function to generate a list, and then appending those items into the our newly list. This is the new list, empty list I create here, and then append item one by one here. This is the for loop, and the same things I can do into a list in single line, in more compact way, more short way. You can see here the same code. Here we need the 3 lines code, but here the same things is done into the single line. This syntax is called the list comprehensions. And you can see here also we are using the same for loop. This is the for loop, okay, this one the for loop, and here basically we need to create another list, so we just use this short form. This is the list comprehension. Here we need to define list first, then append the items. Here just we need to define the list here, and then use the list comprehension. These items basically append into the list by using this mechanism. This is the very short form, and Let's move to the nested list comprehensions. Suppose we have the requirement to apply the multiple for loops, multiple conditions, then we can use nested for loops also. Here you can see here, like I'm generating a matrix by using two for loop. This is the for loop one, then for loop two, and I'm generating a matrix. I'm creating basically one matrix. But same things like this is the like the line one, line two, line three, line four, line five. This is the 5-line code, and same things I do into the single line. So this is the single line. You can see here, same things I'm doing in the single line, same matrix I'm creating by using the single line. So this is the beauty of Python's beauty of the list comprehension, how we do the like the clean codings. So this is recommended into the industry also to use the list comprehensions. So below are the all methods supported by the list. You can try this all method on your end also. And I have added the all methods and their definition, one-liner definition. For example, first is append, then clear, then copy, then extend, count, index, insert, pop, and you can use the same Google Colabs to run your codes. So thank you for watching this video, and bye bye.